Hello, Heather. How are you today?
Doing good. How are you, Michelle?
I am good. It is so good to have you back and see your smiling face. We missed you.
I missed doing this. I was like really excited to get back on today, and that's why we're like 1 minute late getting started because we just start chatting and like, oh my goodness, it's time to get on.
It's time to get on. That's right. Anything exciting going on right now?
Yeah, I had a really fun weekend. We were up in Utah this weekend. My stepdaughter got married, and so it was really fun to like see family and friends and celebrate them. They're beautiful bride, beautiful couple, so really fun. And now we're back to Arizona, and it like dropped in temperature since we were gone, so it's like gorgeous here. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, yeah. And I saw the pictures and everyone looked amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. It was a stunning wedding. It was really, really pretty. So, but you've got a lot of fun things coming up.
Lots of fun things coming up. So let's kind of start with that on 11 months. So November 1st, that is the 14-year anniversary of my third NDE. It's also a big day because I'm going to be giving away two 15-minute readings. There's a post on the YouTube page to like and subscribe to the channel, comment on it, and then we're going to draw those people on November 1st. And then my Angels 111 Angel Message book comes out on November 1st too. So I'm pretty excited. It's going to be a big day.
A lot of big things coming.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So this is one of my highlights of the week. I love being able to get on here and just go, with everyone and share the messages. And I kind of want to start with an angel message today, and then we will jump into the questions. But there was a lot of just fear coming up, and the angels are being really clear. Whether you are worried about the state of the world, your finances, your relationship, like let's just talk fear in general, they were being really clear today about talking about these are seasons of life, right? So starting to notice where you're feeling fearful or what you're worried about, and being able to understand that it's a season. If it is something that is a continual situation and it's a pattern, that changes it into a soul lesson, right? So if it's a situation where you say, I always end up in this relationship, or I always end up in this financial situation, that tends to be more of a soul lesson if we have a long pattern of that. And the angels were just saying, but that is where there's room for growth. Remember, like on a soul level, once we learn our lessons, we don't have to keep reliving them here. It doesn't mean we necessarily check out and go straight home, but it means that you are now choosing different relationships or different situations in your life. So just keep in mind a reason and a season for a lot of things, but I will always hold the hope for humanity. So although there's a lot of fear happening in people's lives right now, just know each one of us is surrounded by loved ones in spirit, angels, life guides. There are so many beings of light on this planet.
Thanks, Michelle. That's so true. There is a lot of fear right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And we don't want to feed into it, right? So it's more important because we have a choice and we feed into the collective consciousness. So if I am in a place of fear, I am feeding it, which is giving it my energy, which is making it bigger and stronger. And if I'm in a place of, even if it's just sitting at home alone on my back porch with my cup of tea, but I am finding peace in that moment, that is so much more important because then I'm feeding into that collective.
yeah, and I know we've talked a lot about this too, like just kind of sometimes removing yourself from the fear, whether that is like turning off the TV or not getting on social media or just kind of taking a break for a minute and then doing something else. Like you said, sitting on your back porch, like being outside, being around people you love, it really like changes your vibration and kind of makes you feel a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all
Well,
right, let's get started.
we have lots of questions in the chat. So just kind of before we get started, if you're listening in, if you'll just please like, it really helps our channel. We're trying to grow it, so we would appreciate it. And we appreciate you all for listening and putting your questions in for Michelle. It's what we wouldn't have a channel without you. So thank you. Our first question is from Flower. She says, hi, Michelle. My husband is on hospice and starting to transition. Is there anything particular his guides, guardian angels want us to do for him right now? Any guidance for our two teenagers at home?
Yeah. So, first of all, my heart is with you, and I'm so sorry your family is going through this. When I'm tapping in with his guides, what I'm feeling is that they're saying very clearly, we are handling it on this side. So, know that he is going to see angels, see loved ones, feel that energy of love and compassion as he transitions, so that he's not worried about where he's headed to. This is going to be them holding that space for him. So please know that. But they're really showing me that they're like, check the box, check the box. Everything that can be done on the human side is being done. The other thing that I would say with your children and you, if he's still verbal, ask him now, what signs are you going to send us? Where, when you get to that heavenly realm, am I going to meet you? So what I like to say for my clients who have loved ones in spirit already is almost like build this stage. Go back to your favorite vacation spot. Maybe you guys were at the lake every summer, or whatever this looks like, right? Build the stage of where you're going to meet your loved one. And it's even better when we can do this when they're still in the body. When you get to the other side, I'm going to see you on my dreams. For me, I'll be on the beach in Maui, or whatever this is. But start setting the stage now, because what you're doing is you're making in the etheric realm and the heavenly realm a meeting place. So it's like if I said, hey, I'll meet you at Starbucks at 10 a.m., you and I know what location we're driving to. Same thing we want to do with our loved one. So I would say start doing that. Start saying, send me ladybugs, send me blue dragonflies, send me whatever it is that you're wanting, because you're already starting the communication. Remember this, the love literally lives on. There's a reason why that's kind of like my backdrop on a lot of stuff, right? Because that doesn't change. And when he gets to that heavenly realm, there is no time or space. There is no distance between him and you and the kids. So we're starting to work on now the level of communication that you're going to be using in the future.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question is from Pam. My husband, Tom, has spinal stenosis and arthritis, has had one surgery in the past. Will he have another surgery, and will it help him immensely?
He will have another surgery and it will help. Immensely is a big word, but I want to use the word productive. So it will be noticeably better, but I don't know that it's going to be immense.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. My friend is wondering if her ex isn't over her, or if she's manipulating her to think she isn't. She feels like she has to walk on eggshells around her.
So the question is the ex over her?
The ex is over her. Yes, she wants to know that. Or she's manipulating her.
She's manipulating her. It's real clear. When I look into that energy, it gets really like muddy and foggy pretty darn quick. Listen, when we get over people, and I want to be like really clear, people, places, situations, whatever it is, right? Here's the deal with that. We're not looking to move into an energy of I love you or I hate you, because those are extremes. We're really wanting to move into what would be a neutral energy. So the fact that you see that person pop up on Instagram and it doesn't trigger you either way, you're just neutral. It's just like if you're scrolling and some random person pops up. So that's the energy that I want your friend to move into. But the ex feels like they're manipulating.
Yeah, and I would say anytime you feel like you have to walk on eggshells around someone, there's something to take a look at there.
Right, exactly. Very good point, Heather. Thank you for calling that out.
Our next question is from Catherine. Good morning. My question is, am I being guided to write a book or a memoir, or write something in relationship to my awakening or beginner guide to tarot?
Yeah, the answer is yes. And I feel like it's coming in more of a memoir, or like a memoir plus. This is my life story. Here are the lessons I learned. Here's how that it can help you. That's the energy that I feel like that. You might end up doing a tarot deck, but that feels like it would be a ways down the road.
Thank you. Our next question is from Benny. My nephew had a shared death experience with my sister. Ever since, he has experienced constant deja vu. Is there a way to use this for further connection?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about shared death experiences. Here's our theme of the day. It goes to the lady who was asking about her husband, and we're talking about the communication starting now. A shared death experience is when somebody who is completely healthy and in their body is sitting with somebody who's transitioning, or maybe that person isn't even right next to them. And there is a communication. So if you're in the room, maybe you see a mist or a light leave the body, you see the soul leave the body, the curtains move, all the way up to we have people who have reported literally being at their loved one's life review. So what I want to say about the shared death experience is this is a real phenomenon. You can Google them. They are happening. I myself have had 3 of them. So the beauty of them is that very often the loved ones who are still here have another level of peace because they know where their loved one went. They saw the light, they felt the love, they whatever this is that they get to experience. So yes, with this child, what I would tell you, whenever we're having deja vu is psychic phenomena, right? So we can use it with direction and intention. And that could be like if this child's getting this information in their dreams, going to bed with the intention like tomorrow, I'm going to see clearly 3 things that I need to know. Right. So it's not just like, yeah, there's the lady in the yellow shirt at the grocery store, because that can be a deja vu experience. But let's start directing it so that this child is like, oh, I forgot to set my alarm for school, and they're seeing it or whatever before it happens, so that we're really using it to navigate their life to the best level possible.
Thank you. It's a good question. Next one's from Jim. This is a very interesting question. How does Vincent van Gogh respond to his paintings becoming the most expensive works at auction in the history, knowing he died in poverty?
Yeah, exactly. So the word that I just heard from him is legacy. He obviously would have loved to be abundant, but his soul plan, this is not just his human life, his soul plan actually came to leave a legacy and for us to be able to see into somebody who was very interdimensional. Okay, a lot of times people who are considered mentally ill are maybe more interdimensional. They're having spiritual connections. They can literally be seeing things that we're not seeing. So that doesn't go across the board for everyone. There are also people that literally need medication and help and support and all of that, right? But having that awareness, that is his energy. Like he came to expand the world through his creation. So he's very pleased with his legacy. Just know, like his soul did what it came to do. So it would be a win-win.
Very interesting. Thanks, Michelle. This message question is from Maya. Any messages from my dad who transitioned in 2017? Been missing him more than usual.
Yeah. So right now, this time of year, Maya, let's just talk about that for a moment too. This time of year, the veil, okay, and the veil, as far as we talk about a veil between heaven and earth, I want to get a little bit more specific on that. We are individually veiled. So according to our soul plan, if I want to be an atheist, I'm going to have a really thick veil, right? There is no God, there's no, right? And if I'm going to be Michelle, the medium, I have a pretty darn thin veil because I'm reaching into the other world and connecting with it regularly. This time of year, the veil, no matter who you are and how thick or thin it is, tends to thin even more because we're getting ready to move into the holiday season. So going back to talking about the collective consciousness, people are longing for their loved ones. This is my busiest time of year as a medium. You know, everyone's like, I got to get my yearly reading. I miss mom. I miss dad, right? So the veil is thinning because collectively as a consciousness, we're starting to look for our loved ones. We remember the holidays with them. Okay, that's part of why I just want to say, number one, that you're missing your dad a little bit more this time of year is because the veil is getting more thin. The thing that your dad is showing me is electrical signs. So I need to tell you, be really aware of lights flickering, light bulbs burning off. He's also showing me your cell phone. So he is doing something on your cell phone to get your attention. And he's giving me the word glitch. So I feel like you might be looking at it and it just shuts down, or you might be doing something, but he's giving me the word glitch. You're going to perceive it as a glitch, but it's his way of being like, I love you, I'm here. I love you, I'm here. With you and with everyone who has a loved one in spirit, they hear us talking to them on the other side. So just know that we need to keep the communication open. It's harder for us to hear them back, but they hear everything that we say. So he's wanting you to know that he is very much aware with you. There's also going to be a situation where you are riding in the car with him Well, that's funny. He said riding in the car with you, like it's happening now. So it's going to happen pretty darn soon. But just know you are literally going to be like, I feel like my dad is sitting in the passenger seat. There's his favorite song just came on the radio. But he's telling me to say there are going to be three things. And then maybe the license plate in front of you has his initials or his birthday, but he's saying three things so that you know I'm right here, right now. And when this happens, please send me an email because I would love to know what these are going to be.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, our next question. I have an uneasy feeling about my husband. Is he okay?
Yeah. So let's talk about this for a minute. Intuition, right? When we look at someone and we're like, something seems off, something doesn't feel right, I'm going to tell you, you have to follow that hunch. Because I would agree with you. There's something off in his energy. I want to go more physical with him. So I feel like he's, it could be a couple of things. He could be moving into high blood pressure, starting diabetes. He could be having, something like that. I want to say that it doesn't feel like it is a terminal situation. But to me, when I feel his energy, it feels like it's connected to his physical health.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. Hi, I am navigating a lot of grief and it creates so much personal uncertainty. Can you tap into that? Am I working with the right company? Do you see what profession I am most useful in?
Yeah. So whenever we are moving through grief, and I know this from when Gary transitioned and my house that I lived in for 13 years with the kids went on the market, like so many things happened at the same time. What I want to tell you is, first of all, we always have to add two words to the end of the story or the sentence that we're telling ourselves, and that's for now. I would be like, this is so hard. For now. This is the worst day ever. For now. My heart is broken. For now, right? I'm scared about my future. For now. Whenever we add those two words to a sentence that's not really good for our long-term energy, what it does is it really tells our mind it's for now. It's temporary. It's not going to stay this way. So I'm going to encourage you to start adding for now to the story that you're in right now. But what I'm really seeing for you is that when I move into, they're taking me into March of 2026. That's where I feel like pieces start falling into place. I do think you're going to shift jobs, but I don't think that you're ready to make that decision right now. The job that you're at feels stable, secure. Sometimes we are in a job that we don't love, but when we shift it to, I'm grateful for the stability. I know how to do this job. I get a paycheck until I can get to the point that I'm ready to find my love or my passion. It's okay. And it's more than enough. So March is when the guides are showing me pieces starting to come into place to give you more clarity as to what you want to do and where you want to go. You're just not there yet, and that's okay. Temporary. For now, for now, for now.
I love that reframe, Michelle, the for now thing. I just love how that changes everything in that situation, like allowing the grief or allowing whatever feelings are coming in, but just knowing that it's temporary and it's not going to last forever.
It literally got me through my darkest days. Like when the angels gave me those words would be the days that I was on my knees over Gary's death, right? And felt like I didn't even know my name. And for now is so powerful because yes, it gives us the temporary thing, but then the other beautiful side of that is it opens doors for hope in our future. That whatever, someday I will be happier. Someday I will not feel like my heart is shattered into a million pieces. And so it's a beautiful balance of allowing what you're feeling to be truly real in the moment and also temporary.
Thank you, Michelle. Our next question is from Kim. Could you tell me if my body will be able to tolerate tapering off an antidepressant and benzodiazepine this next year without side effects after being on them for 50 years? Thank you.
Yeah. So I feel like I don't feel side effects from the antidepressant. I feel like you're going to really want to do a slow taper with everything is the first thing that I want to say to you. So they're showing it to me being staged out. And with the benzos, there might be a little bit of side effect, but I'm also getting the words for now. It's going to be temporary. It's not going to be like the long-term situation. This is big. You need to know that your spirit team is cheering you on for this because most importantly for you, it's not about the medication. So spirit world's not against medication. They're not, because God gave us Western doctors and prescriptions, and it's saved lives and it's helped people and it's done a lot of really good things too, right? But what Spirit World is really excited about in this situation is that what he's starting to do that he hasn't done before is command his energy, right? So Spirit World says, hey, if you needed help, awesome, get the help you need. But what you're doing right now is a life-changing step about commanding yourself mentally, emotionally, and commanding your future. So that's what your guides are really cheering you on for.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question is from Deborah. How can I keep getting messages from my husband who passed in July? We got some, but now nothing. I really want to connect with him again.
Yeah. So they never stop connecting with us. I want to say this. So just know it's not like he has gone off the grid or has forgotten about you or the family. Sometimes the signs change, right? Because once we get to that heavenly realm, as we are continuing to evolve, we might be like, okay, I always sent dragonflies. Today I'm going to start sending red cardinals, or I'm going to start playing with the electricity, or they're going to get an email with my name on it, whatever this is. So I want you to be open to the communication and the language evolving. But what I'm feeling for him is he's saying, I'm right here, I'm right here, I'm right here. He's showing me a lot of numbers. So I want you to pay attention to license plates, to the clock when it's 222, 333. You pull up in the car in front of you has 444 on their license plate. He's like, it's almost like flashing. There might also be, the way he's showing it to me, I feel like I'm driving down the street and the street light just starts flashing. So you're going to see what I would say are flashing lights, where it's something that should be solid and it was, and as you approach it, it's this flicker or this flashing, because he's saying, I'm still right here.
Thanks, Michelle. Next question. Will my ex-husband ever be genuinely sorry for what he did, or will he ever come back to try to repair things after all the betrayal, lies, and deception, after blowing up our family to be with another? Very interesting question.
It is a very interesting question. It's very loaded. And before I answer it, I want to say this. A lot of times as a medium, people come to me because they want me to tell them what they want to hear. And that's not actually my job. My job is to tell you what I'm hearing. So sometimes people get frustrated with that. But I want to also say this on the good side, 95% of the time, it is what you want to hear. Spirit World validates it for you, right? This is going to be one of those situations. The answer is no. He is not going to come back in this lifetime and say, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake. He is not going to own the pain or the damage that he did to everyone. I mean, when I say no, I'm telling you 99% chance. So there's always this 1% chance that on his deathbed, he's like, I'm sorry. And but I don't feel, I want to tell you something about him. He's genuinely not remorseful. He's very self-centered. So when somebody is that way, they're not usually going to come around and give us the I'm sorries that we're looking for in this lifetime. This is really important for you to know this because, and this is across the board for anyone and in every situation, if you are waiting for the apology to move forward with your life, you are doing yourself a disservice. Because whether this is a job that you got fired from, or a friend that wronged you, or a romantic situation like this, if you stop in your tracks waiting for an apology, you're stopping your life based on someone else's power, which means you're going to choose to not move forward if you don't get it. And I'm not saying that's the situation here. I just wanted to use this for everyone. So the answer is no. You need to start building your life for you and around healing you. And the apology does not feel like it's really ever going to come, but that doesn't mean that you can't live a complete, full life.
Yeah, when you're talking about that, I'm not saying it's true for this situation, but I was thinking back in my own life. A lot of the times they don't think they did anything wrong. So there's nothing to apologize for.
In their mind, right?
In their mind, exactly. Like they're justified in what they did. They have every reason why what they did was okay or why they did it. And so why would they apologize? Because in their mind, they didn't do anything wrong. And it's really, really hard to be on the receiving end of that when you're looking for that apology.
It is hard. And that's why Spirit's like, do not wait for the apology. Build your life, create the future that you want, allow healing to start happening for you. Here's one of the, I love the guides today. They're so on it. They're like, you actually do not need an apology to heal, is what the guides just said. You don't. And if you're telling yourself the story that you can't heal until this person or that job or whoever apologizes to you, you are letting yourself stay stuck in the mud for no good reason. So I love that they just said that. We do not need an apology from a person, place, or situation to allow ourselves to heal and grow and move through it.
Thanks, Michelle. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Next question. We have fairy rings with mushrooms in our front yard. Are there really fairies doing this? If so, are they mad when my husband mows over them?
Oh my God, that is the best. It's a good question. These are the things that I love. Okay. So the answer is yes, but let's talk about fairy energy. So when I was in upstate New York a couple of weeks ago, we were staying by a lake. I felt like so much fairy energy up there. It was kind of like, wow, this is like a little enchanted forest where we were. But here's what I will tell you. That is an interdimensional energy, right? So what they're doing, I'm being told to say, is they're showing you the little mushrooms, like we're here, right? We're active around your house. We're active in this energy field. They're not mad when he mows them down. So it's almost like a game for them. I want you to think of like fairy energy. Like think about Tinkerbell and Peter Pan. She's a little bit sassy. She's going to do it her way, all of that. So it's like he mows them down and they're like, yeah, well, watch this. We're going to grow them again. It's kind of, but it's done in a fun, playful way. Great question. Thank you.
I love that. I'd love to see pictures of these like fairy ring mushrooms. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, email me a picture of them. We want to see.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I've never had those in my yard, so I don't think we get a lot of mushrooms in Arizona, do we?
I don't think so.
Okay, our next question. Sorry, I lost my place for a second. We were just chatting. Oh, from Carol. A transitioned loved one keeps popping in my head. Does Maris have a certain message for me?
So the message that I'm getting, and let's talk about it a little bit deeper for a minute. A lot of times we're going through our day and our loved one on the other side pops in our head and we think, oh, I'm missing them again. Very often that's actually your loved one being like, I'm right here. I'm going to give you a flash, a memory of me, a song from me, right? They're wanting to remind us I'm right here. And we go, oh, there was that picture in my mind of the vacation when this happened. So what I want to say about your loved one is they're like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. That's where a lot of the memories are coming from. I'm not feeling like there's anything urgent in the sense of like something's coming up. I do want to say, I think things are going to be shifting though around February. And that's going to be kind of like, I don't know. I want to say you might have a new friend coming into your life. It doesn't feel like it's anything traumatic. So I always like to say that to you. But it's about allowing yourself to move forward with more excitement for the future.
Thank you. Our next question is from Terry. When a child has an imaginary friend, is there any likelihood the imaginary friend could be a spirit? Good question.
It is such a good question. And the answer is yes. Very often that is the situation because so many kids have imaginary friends, right? But when we think about this beautiful soul that is young and on planet Earth, they are not as jaded as we are as we get older. And they are still connecting to their angels, their life guides, loved ones in spirit. It could be like a great, great, great grandma that they never even will meet in this lifetime, right? But very often their friends in spirit world are still here and they are able to see through the veil more clearly. So they are talking to them.
Great question. Next one. When will I get my next job? Will the rescue puppy get along with my rescue dog? I want them to get along.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the rescue puppy and rescue dog, I'm getting like that is 6 to 8 months away. So just so you know, they will get along, but they're going to have a little bit of a I'm the boss. No, I'm the boss. Kind of alpha energy going on there. But in about 6 to 8 months, that is going to happen. With the new job that you're asking about, I'm really feeling that energy coming in the second half of November. So if you are applying, keep applying. Otherwise, if you've already had an interview, I'm still feeling second half of November. So I think there's a lot of momentum moving forward.
Thanks, Michelle. Next question is from Carrie. Hi, Michelle. My son is still waiting on a call for a job on the boats. You said it would be about 10 to 14 days, and he's still praying a call will come in. He's put in so many applications. Yeah,
I'm still feeling that a call is going to come in. I want to be really clear. It feels like it could be like the last minute call, like somebody's sick, somebody, whatever it is. but there is this energy of him going to get the call. Um, I'm asking the guides what they want him to know. It's almost about him seeing it happening, because in his energy field, there's this like, oh, I just sent it in, but it's never going to happen, right? The energy of defeat is there. And what we really want is that energy, law of attraction, right? I know I can do this job, and they're going to know it too. So think about that energy. When we are filling out resumes, even though nowadays pretty much everything is online and you're emailing it in, right? Know that it is still getting sent in with an energy on it, right? So before you hit the send button, you want to be in a place where you are feeling confident, strong. You're imprinting it with, I'm the right person for the job, whatever it is that you need to do. And then literally hit the send button, because there's energy attached to it, even though it's electronic. And I still feel him getting the job.
Thanks, Michelle. I love those follow-up questions too, because I know we've talked about this, like when you get a reading or like a medium and they tell you something, there's still always that possibility, like people have free agency. And I know we've talked about that a lot, Michelle, and different things, the possibilities of things that are out there, but it doesn't always mean 100% because a medium told you it's going to happen for sure.
Absolutely. We have free will. So yes. And the other thing that I want to say about this, when we're doing psychic readings, we are reading the most likely outcome and scenario, right? So it's just like, this is the biggest, strongest path. And so that's how psychic information works. It's coming through with what is most likely to occur. But you're right. I could tell somebody who's lost their life partner that they're going to love again. And they're like, I am never leaving my house and dating again. So even if I feel that there's a very strong potential for a partner to come in for them in a couple years, if they truly make the conscious choice to never leave their house or date again, it doesn't matter if that potential was there. So yeah, that's going on. The other thing that I want to add on to that about psychic and mediumship readings, whoever you go to see, me, someone else, like, I am not worried. Whenever you are in a reading, I want somebody to sit there and use their own discernment. If it doesn't feel like a fit for you, don't take it. I do believe most psychics and mediums, or at least for sure all the ones that I know personally, we are trying our best to get you the most accurate information that's available to you, right? But if you have a reading with somebody and there's a piece that doesn't fit, don't own it. It's not your piece. And I don't understand why that happens sometimes, but I will tell you, a good psychic or medium makes communication with the other dimension look pretty easy, but it's not black and white. It's not simple like this conversation Heather and I are having, and we're in English and we're staring at each other. For me, all of my information comes through feelings or telepathic communication. So as people are asking these questions that I'm answering, the life guides are giving me feelings that I'm turning into words to translate the answer. So there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that no one can see, but it just depends on how the person works. But only take the pieces that fit for you, no matter who your reading is with.
Thanks, Michelle. I love that explanation. It just really kind of brings it all together.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question is from Isabel. Michelle, I'm having health issues, especially with my legs. Will this get healed soon? I am just struggling with it.
Yeah. So I want to say that there's going to be a lot of, I'm going to use the word productive again, because that's what I'm getting. Productive energy. So I do think that you are going to be starting to heal and moving forward with this. Let's talk about the energy around our legs, though, because we know that health conditions, there's an energetic situation around them. So our legs are literally what we need to take the next step or to move forward in our life, right? So for you, kind of like the work that you can do around this is you can ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What next step don't I want to take? Sometimes we're in a place of grief and we don't want to take the next step, right? We're missing our loved one, whatever that looks like, right? Or there's a job or a relationship that needs to end and we have to take the next step. So just honor, there's going to be part of your life somewhere where you are hesitant to take the next step. That's some of the energy feeding into this. But I do feel like the legs are definitely going to be improving, especially within 6 weeks.
Thanks, Michelle. And this question's from Sandy. Will there be a time where we will be able to communicate telepathically with anyone, regardless of their associated spoken language?
I love that. So here's what I'm going to tell you. That time is already here. It's not in the future. It's just that we have not been trained on how to do this. But telepathic communication is a gift that every soul carries. Your dogs, your cats, your horses, your turtle, your whatever. Animal life uses telepathic communication all of the time, and humans do too. Think about if you have children, how you would look at them and you'd be like, I think they're going to be sick. And then an hour later, they're vomiting or, whatever it is, right? So telepathic communication is happening and available to us right now. What has happened is that the human race has been trained out of using it and taught that we need, other people. You have to have a medium to connect to your loved ones. Your loved ones are connected to you, not me. I just have a clear channel that I hear better. So the telepath, that's already available to us. Humans have not been trained in how to do this or how to use this. But telepathic communication at the end of the day is soul to soul communication. So it's what I'm doing with our loved ones on the other side. It's what mediums are doing when they're connecting with people who are nonverbal or in comas. And this is like very common. And then what is the podcast that I still haven't watched, the telepathy tapes or the whatever that is, right? It's very possible and available and happening now. So what I would tell you is if this is something that this person wants to do, check out some different courses that you can find online or some different ways that you can learn how to grow this ability because it's already there.
And would you say that you've been able to have telepathic communication with animals?
I'm just laughing because I know you know the answer. Absolutely. Heather's dog and I have long conversations. So yes, you can have telepathic. I love having telepathic communication with animals. They're very open to it. It is their first language. They read images, like you send them pictures, they send you pictures. It's this soul to soul connection, right? So telepathic communications. One of the things that's fun to do if you want to start practicing with this, if you have a dog. I had a dog named Daphne who was so crazy telepathic. It was like amazing. But I would literally be sitting in a chair and I'd send her a picture in my mind of her getting up and walking to the back door. And then all of a sudden she'd get up and walk to the back door. Or I'd send her a picture. She'd be walking through the house. I'd send her a picture of her laying down next to her bed or whatever. All of a sudden she'd lay down next to her bed. So there are ways that we can start practicing this right now. But yes, animals are open to it. And Daisy is phenomenal. She's a talker, Heather.
She loves to talk. She's a sweetheart. All right, we got our last question for today. So thank you all for joining in and for all your great questions. It was a really great episode. This question is from Angela. The papercraft industry, scrapbooking and card making is dying as tariffs take over and China steals the designs. Many mom and pop stores are going out of business. Do you see a revival anytime soon?
Honestly, I don't. And that's, again, one of the answers that I know you don't want to hear. And I'm sorry to say that, but I don't see that. I feel like we are in a day and an age where things are shifting and changing. And I don't see us going back to the good old days or whatever story it is that we're telling ourselves about the past. So what is going to happen is that this is going to be a period of time, and it's already happening. So we're already in it. We are being asked to reinvent ourselves. What does my life look like now? How do I show up for the year 2026? What do I want to bring in, right? And so although it's very heartbreaking, it is also most likely to continue. And it's a reinvention point, not just for the mom and pop shops, but truly for pretty much every human on this planet right now.
Thanks, Michelle. Well, that's all of our questions we're going to do today. So thank you so much for joining in.
Yeah, thanks, Heather. It was so good to have you back. And if everyone would please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in getting your own 15-minute reading, please comment under that post so that you're in the drawing, and we will let you know on November 1st. I hope you guys have a beautiful week ahead. Have a great day.
Bye.